Live, local, late breaking. This is NewsWatch 12 this morning.
Good morning. The time is 6:30 on July 16th. Welcome to NewsWatch 12 this morning. I'm Carlos Murrieta. We're taking a live look at talent by the Camelot Theater. We first want to turn over to Storm Tracker 12 meteorologist Sarah Kress for a look at our Wednesday. And Sarah, I know we've been tracking a lot of that smoke on our weather cams today. How's that smoke shaping up right now?
Well, we're going to hold on to a lot of that for us today, seeing impacts to the skies and even to our air quality. Here's a look at Medford this morning. Pretty hard to see quite far out there. A very different look from yesterday morning. Right now, we're sitting at 66 degrees, seeing some bigger impacts to visibility as well as we're areas over into the Clamoth Basin. That's where we're seeing those biggest impacts to air quality. Klamath Falls, Lake of the Woods, Crater Lake, very unhealthy air quality values right now. Chiloquin as well. Over into Northern California, unhealthy for Wairika, and we're also seeing some impacts into Weed and Mount Shasta and Etna. In terms of smoke for the day today, we are going to be tracking that out. Hazy skies will be a bit more widespread as well, and we'll likely see this even into our Thursday with some of these fires producing quite a bit of smoke. Here's an updated look on some of those fires. A lot of that smoke is coming from the Cram fire that is in Central Oregon. A lot of that moved in for us overnight tonight, and even into our area we still do have some evacuation notices out, so you can check in with those at kdrv.com. But for today, we're still going to be feeling that heat, even hotter with those temperatures. We do have the possibility for an isolated thunderstorm mainly into Northern California for us today, but we'll see that possibility into the afternoon through the evening. But into the Rogue Valley, temperatures are going to be climbing up into the upper 90s and even into the hundreds. I do think we have a good chance at reaching triple-digit temperatures for a few areas around the region today. Even into Grants Pass, a high of 103. Klamath Falls over east side into the 90s. Northern California 98 for Wairika. So definitely going to be a hotter one. Along the coast a bit different. We're seeing a bit more clouds, areas of fog. It's going to be hard for those highs to climb today. So I have more details what we can expect around the region for your Wednesday and the days ahead coming up in your next forecast.
On the fire watch, the Butler fire has prompted new evacuation orders as the fire continues to move into two communities. The fire is now burning at over 9,100 acres with no containment. The fire is being fueled by the heat and the winds as firefighters are concentrating their efforts on keeping the spread of the fire as minimal as possible, but previous structure protection measures are continuing to hold. And the growing fire activity from the Butler fire is prompting a new campground closure in the Salmon Scott River Ranger District. The Idlewild campground is now closed to the public as it is now a base for firefighters working on the Butler fire on the New Orleans complex. There's no timeline yet for when it will reopen, but other nearby campgrounds include Trail Creek, Hidden Horse, and East Fork, and drivers in the area should expect more fire traffic along Sawyer's Bar and Callahan-Cecilville Road and use extra caution on those narrow routes. And the Elk fire is now holding it steady at almost 2,700 acres and 31% containment. Fire crews are continuing to make strong progress while also watching the Haggleseen fire. Fire crews have conducted controlled burnouts and are ready to respond to any flare-ups, but evacuations are still in place this morning. And just west of the Elk fire is the Haggleseen fire, which is now estimated at 523 acres with no containment. South Central Oregon Fire Management says crews made good progress on the fire, and the fire is just burning off Highway 97 near Modoc Point, and drivers are urged to use caution due to heavy fire traffic. And that was the moment a lightning struck a tree at a Lake of the Woods camp in the Fremont-Wainema National Forest. During the lightning storms that happened last week, the camp was hosting a church group of 140 girls. The group was just outside taking a picture when the lightning struck a tree in the center of the camp. This resulted in the tree catching on fire and shards of wood landing around campers and staff. Cambry Nelson, a cook working at the camp, spoke about the exact moment the lightning struck.
tree just all of a sudden exploded. And of course, big crash of lightning. Girls are screaming, terrified. There were some girls that went to fetal position and just like couldn't even move because they were so terrified. Other girls are screaming and running. The tree's on fire. I'm yelling for them to, run away from the fire, like go that way, go that way.
Now, luckily, no one was injured as heavy rain was able to put the fire out before the fire department arrived. They quickly assessed the scene and found it unsafe for the campers and staff due to loss of power and high voltage. The 4-day camp ended just 24 hours after it started. And the Department of Education field offices, which is responsible for enforcing civil rights on campuses, are beginning to shut down here in Oregon. Now this comes as the Supreme Court is clearing the way for the Trump administration to dismantle the Department of Education. While states administer curriculums and most public school funding, the Federal Department of Education oversees billions of dollars that largely go to students in low-income communities and those with disabilities. It also enforces civil rights laws within school systems. Now the layoffs of more than 1,000 DOE workers can proceed. Students and educators say the loss of federal support could put critical protections at risk. And floaters and paddleboarders will face new fees next year with expanded permit requirements for Oregon waterways starting January 1st. Governor Tina Kotek signed House Bill 2982 on June 24th, meaning the waterway access permit fee will expand to include non-motorized boats under 10 feet. The permit expansion is put in place to keep Oregon's lakes and rivers free from invasive species.
Interpretation for law enforcement purposes does not include single inner tubes or inner tubes tied together. We're focusing specifically on boats that can potentially carry aquatic invasive species.
The revenue from fees will go towards invasive species inspection and decontamination efforts. A 1-year permit will cost you $20, while a 2-year will cost you $35. And if you don't get out in the water too much, you could buy a 7-day permit for just $6. Moving to the crime alert, the Grants Pass Police Department is seeking information on a hit and run that happened on July 8th. Police and emergency crews responded to Grants Pass Parkway and Northeast F Street regarding a crash involving a vehicle and an e-bike. The driver of the vehicle did not stop after colliding with the e-biker. An e-bike driver was transported to the hospital with serious injuries. Please contact the Grants Pass Police Department if you have any information. And teens from across the Klamath Basin spent a month paddling the Klamath River from its headwaters in Oregon to the Pacific Ocean on the Yurok Reservation. They completed the first full descent of the free-flowing Klamath River. After 30 days and 310 miles, they reached the ocean and they were greeted by song, prayer, and cheers. The expedition marks the first full descent of the Klamath River since the dam removal began. And yesterday was the first day of the Jackson County Fair, and opening day brought out lots of families, food lovers, and ride enthusiasts just like me. But with the heat cranking up this week, the fair is also making sure guests stay cool and comfortable. And with the many rides and entertainment at the fair, many people question about even going out because it's so hot. As attendees are looking for ways to stay cool, the Jackson County Fair says they've added more water stations, misting stations, and some buildings with AC so people can pop in and stay cool.
Water all throughout the grounds that people can just get something to drink if they need something to drink and get out of the sun. Carnival has protocols in place for heat. They rotate their employees more often. They all have water stations that they have water all the time. They have other employees bringing water to all the rides all the time.
Holmbeck also says you can bring one sealed water bottle and an empty reusable bottle, but also don't forget to wear sunscreen while attending. And the Salvation Army in Medford had a groundbreaking for the new Hope Studio Apartments expansion, a $1.4 million construction aimed to add 7 newly fully furnished units for men, women, and families in need. Construction will begin on August 1st. And tomorrow, the city of Grants Pass will be breaking ground on the replacement water treatment plant, as the city is inviting community members to hear some speeches from community leaders, tour the site, and see where the plant will be located. The site is currently dirt and gravel, so closed-toed footwear is required, and parking will be limited, so carpool if you can. And the site will be closed to visitors at noon, and the groundbreaking event will take place at 10 a.m. at 755 Southeast J Street. And looking ahead to this Friday, the city of Medford is inviting you to celebrate the newest mural in downtown. From 5:30 to 8 p.m., you can have the chance to meet the artist Ryan Moon at the north wall of the Rogue Valley Gallery and Art Center.